After a long season, we have finally clinched a playoff spot, and we are going to be facing the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wild card round. And just a few firings and retirings and just top stories from the league starting its playoffs, or these playoffs. And we see that the New York Giants and Eli Manning are going to the playoffs, so that's definitely somebody we may have to worry about if we make it to the Super Bowl, because we all know how hot the Giants get in crunch time. And there's Chad Masters, aka Brian Belichick, and he's gonna retire. And Marvin Lewis gets fired after a disappointing season. So I just wanted to catch you guys up or let you know what's going on in the league before we start this game. This moment has been long awaited. We went through the season, started off on that win streak, then went on a losing streak, then eventually got it back on track, going into the playoff with a little bit of momentum, not as much as I'd like, but definitely a good amount of momentum. But the Saints have made it to the playoffs, I believe. And there's Malarkey. And by the way, here are going to be some season stats. Peyton Manning with 1 touchdown away from 50 passing touchdowns, and not a lot of rushing yards for McGahee. And here's Rick Moss's stats. Wow. 3,500 receiving yards, 164 receptions, and 32 touchdowns. But without further ado, let's get this playoff game started.
Win and move on, lose and go home. Welcome to the start of the AFC wildcard round as we get set for a matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Hello, friends. Jed Nance and Phil Simms. Welcome to Wild Card Weekend. The playoffs are upon us, partner, all season long, building up to this week.
Man, you just think back to these players. We talked to them, Jim, and the coaches, to think back to training camp when you have all those wonderful thoughts. The season's going to fall our way. We're going to get it done. Well, it happened. So here you are in this game today, this wild card game. Can you play again next week? That's the big question.
You go all the way back to training camp. It's all about getting to the postseason, and here we are for a wild card matchup. Two teams that found their way to the promised land.
Jim, no matter what you did the whole football season, it means nothing. It's going to be how you play in today's game.
All right, the Broncos are on the field for the first time against this 7th-ranked Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and Rick Moss gets a 27-yard gain to kick off this offense, trying to get them into the red zone so they can take the lead early. And we're going up against Rasheem Mathis, definitely not a bad corner, definitely a veteran. So the young gun, Rick Moss, is going to try to show Rasheem Mathis how it's done. And he's going to hit Jacob Tamme for the first down. And we are on the 15-yard line, so 2 completions to start off this drive is definitely looking really good. Tammy has to be open over the middle of the field or the outside like he is this time. Rick Moss drawing a lot of attention from the safety will definitely give him one-on-one matchups. But Rick Moss across the middle, going in for the touchdown to give the Denver Broncos the lead here at Mile High. I did not mention, if you cannot see already, that we do have home field advantage for the first round. Hopefully that can help us out. And Rick Moss was matched up against Cox that time. In my opinion, definitely a mismatch. They play zone anyway. Rick Moss is always good at finding that soft spot in the zone. Trying to get his first career playoff win against this 7th ranked defense like I mentioned earlier. So definitely won't be an easy task. So Rick Moss is running deep. Peyton Manning just lobs it up, giving him a chance. And it is going to be picked off by Dwight Lowry. So the first mistake by Peyton Manning. And we get great field position, and Peyton Manning throws a backwards pass, and it gets swatted and picked up by number 52. Wow, and he's going to take this one all the way down to the 1-yard line. They will end up capitalizing, so it is now a 7-7 game with Peyton Manning making 2 crucial mistakes, and Rick Moss is breaking tackles over the middle for about a 10 or 11-yard gain. And we're trying to drive and score this game to take the lead again. And he's going to hit Demaryius Thomas for a first down. So he's getting other receivers involved, definitely making this offense a better oil-powered machine. And look at Rick Moss wide open on the double move and is overthrown by Peyton Manning. We ended off the season not having good chemistry. And hopefully we don't carry that into the rest of this game. But Demaryius Thomas gets that 9-yard gain, and we're going to hand it off to Noshawn Marino, and he gets the first down. And we are on their side of the field now, and on 1st and 10, Peyton Manning back to pass from the shotgun. Rick Moss over the middle again for another 9-yard gain. Not getting the big play this game so far, but definitely getting the plays in the middle. But Rick Moss is running deep, but he's going to find Jacob Tammy again on the outside like I mentioned earlier. And he was wide open. Rick Moss is kind of open, but he lobs it up instead of floating it. And Rasheem Mathis, the veteran, catches his pass or this interception. But Rick Moss gets behind number 21 for the touchdown. So a great touchdown, a great performance by Rick Moss so far. His 2nd touchdown of the day to take this lead. So we are now leading 14-7. In the first half, in the second quarter. Once again, Cox played that bump and run defense, and Rick Moss got right by it. I actually upgraded his release or his beating man coverage or press coverage rating late in the season. But Rick Moss is running deep, but he's going to hit Demaryius Thomas for the beautiful diving catch. What a great catch by him. A good performance by Peyton Manning other than those 2 picks. He's been on the money other than that. But he's going to hit Jacob Tammy. Another catch for Tammy. This is the most catches he's had in the game. And what a great time to be performing so well. And here's Decker over the middle for about 8 yards. And we're in the red zone once again. Hopefully Peyton Manning doesn't make a mistake. But Rick Moss is wide open over the middle. And he almost gets the touchdown down to the 1-yard line. Almost got his 3rd touchdown of the day. And we're going to hand it off to McGahee, and he is going to be stopped short of the touchdown. And with 44 seconds left to go, McGahee goes again and gets stopped again. So it is bringing up 3rd down on the play action. Over the middle, Rick Moss with the diving catch. What a great catch by Rick Moss. Wow, what a great diving catch. I just said that twice in a row, but it really was a good catch. Nobody was near him, but he still dove and laid out, put his body on the line to get the lead on 3rd down in this playoff game. I'm not sure if he even had to dive for that one, but hey, it looked good. Here it is again from a different angle. Great catch. So we take the lead by 2 possessions, about to go into the second half. So we are looking good, still holding the lead. The defense is playing great. Rick Moss runs, gets jammed, sorta, and Peyton Manning throws his 3rd pick of the game. and I believe they do capitalize off of that when they do. So now we only hold a 1 possession lead. And look at Rick Moss wide open, but you know the computer throws it to where you're going. I should have straightened up that route. But Peyton Manning is back to pass, finds Rick Moss wide open on the comeback route for a nice little gain right there, about 13 to 15 yards. So Rick Moss is doing good. Peyton Manning is going to have to lower his interception ratio if we do advance, if we want to be successful. Rick Moss on the drag route gets a nice gain. He's been going over the middle all day rather than getting those big plays. But here he is on another drag route for 8 yards, so that will put him at 151 on the day. But Rick Moss is deep, wide, and he gets overthrown. Rick Moss could have tiptoed that one had Peyton Manning just underthrew it just a little bit more. But Rick Moss is breaking tackles, getting down to the 22-yard line, and that was a great run after catch. And on 2nd and 18 after a sack, Rick Moss is going to be overthrown, but they're going to call pass interference on the defense. So we are set up on the 10-yard line after that penalty. And now Peyton Manning is back to pass, and he finds Rick Moss over the middle for his, what is it, the 3rd touchdown of the day for Rick Moss, I believe so, if I'm not mistaken, or the 3rd or the 4th. I sometimes lose count, sorry about that, but I'm not trying to say it like he scored so many touchdowns. I just lose count. Let's see, his 4th touchdown. Okay, so his 4th touchdown with just under 200 yards. And we hold the lead in the 4th quarter. If we can score right here, we'll definitely ice this game and put the needle in the coffin, as they score 21 to 28. And now the defense gets a stop after we go 3-and-out right there. And Jacob Tamme with a nice catch. And we are up about 1 possession. That went pretty fast. I couldn't commentate that as fast as I would like to, but he has Jacob Tamme again, breaking tackles. Wow, he is just great. Our defense has been playing great. We got so many different stops, and he finally throws this route right, and Rick Moss is gone. Whoop! I know some people don't like that, but yeah, that's a trade. That's not my trademark, but Rick Moss, you're gonna hear that every time, or at least once a video. But that would definitely be sort of a nail in the coffin for this playoff worthy Jacksonville Jaguars team. Rick Moss with an amazing 5-touchdown performance, and they score, and they're going to try an onside kick with 12 seconds left, and it's going to be recovered by Demaryius Thomas, and that would seal our win. Pending this nil right here. I don't know why he's audibling on a nil play, but that would end the game. So Rick Moss is going to get his first playoff win. And starting, what a way. And I say what an excellent way. Sorry about that lag. The game lags, but what a way to break onto the scene in the playoffs for Rick Moss. 5 touchdowns. I think that's the record, or one short of the record. I'm sure he holds records for playoffs games, but wow, he is giving so much hope to these fans, and definitely a great win at home. Wow, 5 touchdowns in his playoff debut. Definitely a good way to show the league that I'm not messing around. I'm not a one-season wonder. I'm going to perform in the playoffs too. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but like Tony Romo. Tony Romo is good during the regular season, but when it comes playoff time, he can barely win 1 game. I'm not sure if they've won. How many playoff games have they won in like the last 10 years? But not trying to call him out, but Rick Moss definitely performs well for his first playoff game. And Peyton Manning threw 5 touchdowns, all to Rick Moss. But Jacob Tamme and Demaryius Thomas and Decker definitely put in work this game, getting some very good catches and runs after the catches to set us up for good field position and everything. So it's not just Rick Moss performing, it's definitely this entire receiving core. But here are the matchups, the results for the wild card round. The Seahawks get eliminated by the Lions by 21 points in a blowout. Buffalo Bills get defeated by the Baltimore Ravens, and the New York Giants won by 1 point. I mentioned that they always play well in crunch time, and it looks like that's what they did against the New Orleans Saints. Here are the divisional matchups. We'll be facing off against the Titans, and the Titans are a good team. I believe they went 12-3-1. That's very odd, but I'm going to upgrade Rick Moss and get ready for this team against the heavily favored Tennessee Titans. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're excited for this divisional matchup against the Titans. I'll see you guys later.